Streaming. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode Draw and Talk. It's your boy Tyler, and today we have a super fun episode planned for you guys. We have the Muttman, we got Macho Dan, and we're going to be talking about Star Wars and expanding storylines and universes and how we can. We're going to be talking about Star Wars, but we're also going to be talking about what we can learn as comic book creators, indie comic book creators. Can we also do expanded stories and universes in our own personal comic books? So let's cue the music and let's start the show. Draw Talk. All right, sweet. It's time. Let's do this. For some reason, freaking Muttman, I don't know what's wrong, but you're like taking up like the entire screen for some reason. I don't know why. freaking
God, make it go away.
Freaking OBS, guys. I had this all set up on my laptop. I was gonna be drawing while we did the show, and then just bad things happened. One bad thing after the next. And if I have to run out because I gotta poop, that's just what's gonna happen. So, so Macho Dan and Muttman are gonna take over.
That's right.
Real quick, I'm gonna get into the chat. We got Zach's art channel saying Furt Gang. Lego Studio says hi. We got SVA Music Media. What up? Eric Mogul, the art of Reed, Alan Ellsworth, and Jay Essman and Dillard Draws. Did you seriously add commercials? Is 4 cents a year worth my IRA?
Dillard is in the chat. I tell you what, last night, Dillard, like, my face was hurting when I was done with that stream because I was laughing so hard at that guy.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, man. He just went crazy.
Dude, John Dillard is hilarious. I always get nervous around, like, when he comes on the chat or he comments. It's like, oh no, did I do something wrong? Is he gonna?
Oh, he'll blow it up.
Like John's a teddy bear. You got to let him say his piece. That's all you got to do.
Just let him say what he needs to say and get out of it.
Let him say what he needs to say. And there's Brad in here too. What up,
we got Brad here. We got Wasaid. How you doing, guys? Guys, we're gonna have fun tonight. Because we always make sure we have fun.
Reed there. That's cool.
All right, so let's introduce everyone. We got Macho Dan and Muttman. Guys, tell us who you guys are and what you guys are up to.
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So yeah, I am Macho Dan, a jerk face, whatever you want to call me. I answer to pretty much anything, and I am the writer and co-creator. Too bad Sean's not in here. Of Hero Blood Patriots, and we have a comic book that we have funded. We're already funded on Indiegogo, and it is we're in demand right now. We're going to be in demand a little bit longer. We're about just over $6,000, and we're pretty pumped to get this comic out. And it's an action-packed sci-fi undead super soldier adventure. It's going to be pretty awesome. So if you haven't heard of it, check it out. I'd appreciate it. And then my co-creator he's below me on my screen anyway. Go ahead, take it away, Mutt.
I am the Muttman, the one and only, the ever-growing, ever-present Muttman. And I am glad to be here on this show to talk about many things and spread my opinions far and wide. Macho and I made a blood pact together a long time ago. We cut our hands and we held them tightly together for 30 seconds to a minute, almost probably 50 seconds. And we have intercirculated blood with each other. We are blood brothers. And we've created a comic book called Hero Blood of Patriots. And it's going to be incredible. Probably the greatest thing you've ever read in your life. So you should back it now.
That's right. Dude, that's some high standards right there. So guys, in the link in the description is you know, let me just I'm going to put the Indiegogo in the chat for you guys to go check out. I am a backer of this.
That's right. Of course you are, because you're a smart person.
Exactly. We got Ichthus in the house. We have some old metalhead 1968 saying "Sup headbangers."
Yeah.
Welcome here to Draw and Talk. And yeah, guys, we have a good show planned out. We're gonna have fun. Real quick though, I want to congratulate some people that are in my Discord channel. The FERT gang likes to make sure that we keep each other accountable. So we all had weekend goals. And Z Artist said he's working on a huge drawing. I saw that. I contributed to that on Instagram. Alley Cat said that she successfully did more than her goals. And then Phil Pops got past 50% on their funding on their comic book this weekend. So congrats to you guys in our Discord. If you want to join our Discord channel, it's a bunch of creators having fun and also keeping each other accountable with our goals. Go join that. The link is also in the description. So guys, before my laptop bugged out and before I had to drop a huge massive deuce,
long time.
You guys were talking about how you guys are getting close to the fulfillment stage of you guys' Indiegogo and kind of like the stresses of it. Tell us about like the stress of the stress of fulfilling it, because a lot of people think, oh, you made the comic, that's the hard part, marketing, it's a hard part, and then you have to fulfillment, you have the comics and you ship them out, but it's a lot more stressful than that. I sometimes get like put it off for like a week or two. I have all the stuff, I'm like, oh, I just don't want to do it. Like, what's that feeling like?
Yeah, right. Well, right, I'll let Mutt speak about his part, but for now, we were just talking the other day, and I'm going to try and take over some of the getting proofs and stuff, and ordering pieces, and getting those things in. And as we're getting closer to our November deadline, it's hitting me that I have like hundreds of little things that I got to order, and I got to make sure that. I order patches, for example, and the patch looks good, because you don't want to order something and get it in and it looks like a bunch of crap. And I got to be on Mutt to get stickers, and because he has to draw like 2 different stickers, 2 different posters. We got to get all that stuff done. And so we're like budgeting time here and there to make sure this is going to happen, not to mention just finishing, like we're getting colors back and he's sending pages out to color, and we're got to get I got to get on like getting the dialogue on the page so that we can get that back to Mutt so he can letter it. And there's just like so many little things. So as that time's ticking away, like I feel every day starting to go. And there's some other tiers that we have. Like I have the Macho's mystery bag tier, and I have some items that I have to curate for this person, and like that's a big deal. Like I have to get these one of a kind things done and made and ready.
It's stressful because you want to make sure everyone gets the quality stuff. The worst perk that I've done, and I'm never doing it ever again unless someone demands it, was I had a comic creator perk where if you back the book at like, I think it was like $200 or $300, you got the books, and I would also draw your 3-page story.
Oh,
and so
that's a big one.
And the last person who did it is he goes by Anki or Mythical Fork, and his script was so like tight. It was so detailed. He sent me like a zip file with like 5 different folders of what each character should like look like, the weapons. And I remember
that guy saw you coming. He bounced on that as soon as he could.
And we had to have a Google Hangout session for like 4 hours and go through each panel. I'm like, okay, am I doing this right? Do I understand this? And it was so stressful. The pages, the story was amazing. The artwork was stressing me out the whole time. It took me like 90 days to be like, okay, I guess I'll start it. I'll start doing this. It was fun. It's some of my best work that I've done, but gosh, it was stressful because you feel, because we call them backers, but really they're producers. People who back our book, they're producers. 100%. They are part of this process. If this was a movie, they'd be in the end credits.
Yeah, 100%. And Mutt has one of those because we have a backer who's a villain in the book, and we got to make him happy because he paid a lot of money to be that villain.
Exactly.
But I'll let him talk about his stresses right now.
Oh, you listed them. You listed everything that's stressing us out. I mean, just basically having to get the work done. Getting the inks done. That's That's the major thing, getting all that stuff drawn out and get the colors back. But yeah, part of it's going to be for us is going to be creating 5 original pages that are not digital. So I've got to go traditional, and I've got to draw people in the book. Well, actually, it's more than 5 pages. It's about 7 pages that'll be traditional, and they are going to be hard to do. And I have to draw people, the likenesses of people, and get the right the right positions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's some,
That's stressful.
a lot of, yeah, it's sort of like some fine work that needs to be done, but it's going to get done.
Well, speaking of like that reference, that zombie book Undead Row that I was working on with Wes Nadell, he sent me that we have the same perk where if you can be in the book and you can be a zombie, and luckily the whole book is photo reference of just me. I posed every pose, every panel is me or my wife, and so luckily I was
That's pretty awesome.
So I was like, okay, hey. I told my wife, I told Wes, I was like, okay, hey, listen, here's 2 panels. Just have them like take a picture of themselves in a zombie pose, and I'll rip their skin off when I draw them. But you know what you could do? What I do when I do traditional is I do like really loose pencils, kind of like how you do it, and then I print them out and then I ink over them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like,
freaking A. This would not be. You okay? Oh, he ran away.
So right here.
No, he's back.
Oh, hold on. My camera's not even on for you guys. Hold on. So like right here, this was all done. This was originally penciled digitally.
Oh yeah.
You gotta turn your blur off, man.
Oh yeah, frick. Hold on. Now I gotta let's see. Unblur my background. Perfect. So these were there were digital pencils underneath this. Just really rough, and then I inked over it. And you can kind of tell, but like when you scan it, but people kind of like that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, people love getting original art, and you got to put those perks in.
Well, so, what do you got? You got 5 pages of that, and then you have multiple other ones that are going.
I got the knocked out perk. So that's original art with that one, and then we've got the be a villain perk, and that's 5 pages.
Yeah.
So I'll have 7 pages.
Brad says, "Don't listen to Tyler on traditional art." Don't say that, Brad. We just have different techniques.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, I've already been doing my sketching, and I've got the pages laid out. So it's gonna be fun to get back to traditional. I actually kind of miss it a little bit, staying on this whack-on. Dude,
the next book that I produce is gonna be traditional. I'm so excited. I know it's gonna be more time consuming. But yeah. I'm like, it's fun to draw on a screen, but sometimes I'm like, man, let's get dirty with the inks.
Absolutely, man. You want to get your fingers all inky, and you want to smell the paper, and you want to have the scratchiness on it and everything. I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward. I got my bristol board, my blue line pencils,
and just
everything.
the fear of every stroke matters. There's no undo.
That's right. Yeah, I'll probably get a lot of whiteout pens going, but you just rock and roll, man. You just get through it and get it done.
We got Specs Vision in the house. What up, dude? We got Mighty Geek Studios as well, IndieCom TV as well, and we had Alan Ellsworth saying. I know Macho, you replied in the chat, but Alan Ellsworth says, "Whatever happened to the 2-page story Macho Dan was writing for the pitch contest Draw and Talk had?" I mean. One, you knew you were going to win like 6 months after I announced it. I said, hey.
I called it from the first day that I saw that up on Twitter. I called it.
Sure enough.
But, like he says, it's coming. I'm sure right now you guys are just so focused on Hero and getting it out.
Yeah, it's all about Hero. All about Hero all the time.
And I have written some stuff down. I've tried to expand the story. It's just not ready to go to an artist for them to work on yet. And I also need to get an artist that 100%. I've talked to Trusty Sidekick, and I have a couple other people that I'm certainly interested in. And that money is staring at me in my PayPal still. And I'm it's just waiting right there for me to get it done. But yeah, I want to get this campaign done, or very close to being done, to the point where I'm not worried about what's coming in, like if I've gotten my dialogue done, if like we have, once that's finished, then I can really relax and get this thing worked on. But I'm going to keep pushing on it. I'll work on it here and there when I have time, and it'll get out. I promise you guys, it'll be a free 2-page story that I'm going to put out. Hilarious.
Because it's stressful. Like,
yeah.
Like this last, I'm like working really hard on finishing Demons Volume 3, and then, Wes sends me a couple edit. He goes, "Hey, we need to finish the edits of Undead Row and whatnot." I'm like, "Oh, flip! Like now I've got to worry about this campaign, but I'm also trying to find time for this other campaign." And then, I got my friend Travis Gibby goes, "Hey, you also signed on to do those 2 pages. I need these 2 pages now," and it's like, it's all like coming in.
And art is even way more time consuming than what I do. But also right now, just personally, it is the busiest time of year for me. Like work related and family time related is like I'm slammed right now. So that's another thing. And I want to put something out that's good and it's entertaining and it's funny. And so I don't want to rush it. Like Tyler believed in me and he gave me that cash to make it happen, and I'm going to make it happen. But I want to make sure it's good. I don't want to give you guys crap.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited about Hero, and I know it's a great comic, and I can't wait to get it into people's hands. And so I want to get that out there, and then I'm going to move on to this next thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah.
No, we know we know it's going to be good, and I had to bring my wife in to be the judge because I was going to say yes to everything, and she loved yours.
Yeah, that's cool.
So guys, we got 18 people in the house. Remember to smash that like button. If you want to share this stream out, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Facebook, because we're about to dive into the Star Wars. We're about to dive into the Star Wars. The cool thing about comics is the idea of a shared universe, an expanded universe, and constantly building off of, you could create, if you were writing Batman, you could create a side character, and it could get so popular that side character soon gets its own miniseries and soon becomes a staple, and then it just grows and grows. Well, we're seeing that with Star Wars, where you had the original 3 movies, and then it brought in the prequels, and now it brought in whatever is going on right now. Yep. Whatever people's opinions are of it, but then we also have like the Solo movie. We have Rogue One, but now we're also getting Obi-Wan, and then the Mandalorian. I mean, it's a cash grab. Obviously, I don't like. If I was a business person, I'd be like, yeah, let's keep making these shows.
Yeah, keep printing money. It's fine. Keep printing
exactly. We'll take it. You print the money. We'll take it. But. So what are you guys' thoughts on the current So guys, audience members, we'll talk about Star Wars, then we'll talk about comic books and how we can tie that all in, and then we'll end the show. Star Wars though, what do you guys think of the current state of Star Wars currently?
Mutt I can see steam coming out of his ears. I want him to go ahead and go because he has some very strong opinions, and I'm looking forward to hearing them here.
I'm not a fan of the way the movies are going. I think that Rise of Skywalker is probably going to be a big pile of hot garbage, most likely, because The Last Jedi basically set it up for failure. And I don't know where you're going to take this story other than right into the crapper. They may surprise me, and I'm hoping that they surprise me. I'm hoping that it's a really great finish to a big mess, but I mean, generally speaking, you can chazes and see that when you got yourself in a situation like this, you're not going to get out of it easy. So I feel like the storytelling problems are going to persist. They're going to end it, but they're going to end it in a way that's going to try to set it up for more material.
Do you think so? Do you think they'll end it in a way that they can expand it?
Yeah, but not from. I think they're going away from movies and they're going to go into the streaming service more so. They're going to focus on that. So they'll do it in a way where the anybody can be a Jedi storyline will probably persist.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the fact that the Skywalkers are different. The stories are about the Skywalkers, and so when you take it away from that, it's just too expansive. It's too much, it's not focused enough to be entertaining anymore.
That is true. I do agree with that. The fact that the original 6 movies we're about the Skywalkers. About this family. They are so important to the universe of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're causing
Right.
so
Right.
many problems for the entire galaxy, and yet they did not play any part in these new movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, what you're going to find out, it has to be, Rey has to be a Skywalker. That's the only way for this to make any sense at all, I think. She's got to be.
You think so?
And I think at this point, I think the last movie was, I think Rain Johnson could have even potentially written it like, no, she really is not a Skywalker. But I bet JJ's changing it because he can probably feel the rage building. He can feel the fandom menace. He can feel all of us staring him in the back of his head, and he's gonna have to bring it back, and he's gonna have to make her a Skywalker. That's the only way to do it and to save some face, because it is. You're right. It is a Skywalker story, and who knows what's gonna happen. Like me personally, I'm an eternal optimist. Mutt is the pessimist of our relationship. Okay, he's such a sad sack sometimes, but I'm an eternal optimist, and I am hope that there's going to be some good in this. It's not going to be able to fix the past movie. It's not going to be able to fix a lot of the stuff that's happening in the universe. But if they can at least end it in a way that everybody's like, I don't like it. But,
like as in as in just okay, I get that's what we got. It's not it's not as bad as it could have been. They tried their best to fix
that, and that's what's gonna that is why J.J. Abrams is back. That is the whole reason he's there, is because he does get the fan and he understands. I think to a point. I don't think he's perfect in any way, but I think to a point he understands what we want to see. And whether or not he can do it is one thing, because it is decision by committee at Disney at this point.
But it's so weird though that they had him write the 7th movie, and then Rian Johnson at the same time was writing The Last Jedi, but they had no correlation on what each other was doing. Like
that was so stupid.
Like the MCU is so perfectly laid out. Yeah. Like why didn't Disney do this? Like, oh well, we should probably plan out Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, they really needed to let J.J. Abrams just be the Kevin Feige of that trilogy.
Yeah.
That probably should have been what happened. And they can let other people direct, but Abrams be the, no, we don't need the casino scene. Don't do the broom thing. Don't do the broom thing. The broom thing's a bad idea. Luke drinking the weird green milk.
Like, let him be the architect. Be like, these things need to happen.
Exactly.
The story needs to go from A, B, and conclude at C. Instead, it was, it's just such a mess. I remember watching Last Jedi with my family being like, what's going on? Like, why is any of this like, I wasn't enjoying it, and like I didn't necessarily enjoy The Force Awakens that much. I've seen it once, and when my family was like, hey, let's watch it again because your brother hasn't seen it, I was like, I guess I'll watch it again. But I've seen Last Jedi once, and I've never ever once set eyes on it again. And I'll see the new one.
I did try to watch it again, and I was not happy when I tried to watch it again. I tried to watch it was free. I mean, it's on Netflix. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
That's bad if a movie that big is for free and you're not liking it.
Yeah, right.
If you turn it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to ask a question to the chat. Tell me something that J.J. Abrams has actually finished that ended up making sense.
He's bringing up Lost. He's bringing up Lost.
Come on, man. Lost is a perfect example of the fact that this guy cannot finish anything. He's going to make a bigger mess out of this. He's inheriting a mess that he can't finish in the first place, and he is not a finisher. This guy is going to make it even worse.
Dillard says, I'm telling you, JJ, my boy, is going to save the galaxy.
No way. No way.
I think it's going to be good, but let's talk about this. And I somewhat once again, I'm the optimist, and I believe that he's gonna do a job that, like I said before, it might not be what exactly we want. There's gonna be some things that we're gonna question, but it's going to be like, I can live with it, I think is what we're going to get. I hope that's what we get. And I could be wrong, but
I think that's what we're going to get. I can live with this.
I have to. Yeah, we're going to have to. And so, well, I lost my train of thought there. I was trying to defend J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, you lost it because it didn't make sense. You're just like J.J. Abrams.
That's such a JJ thing of you to do, Macho, is just to forget what you're doing. What did you guys do? Have you heard the theory of Rey being Shmi and she goes back in time and she's the mother of Anakin?
Oh my gosh. I hope they do that. And I hope they bring Jar Jar back to make him like the architect of everything.
Wait, Dillard draws Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible was J.J. Abrams? No way. Oh, Wikipedia that.
Cloverfield was, and Star Trek. If you're a Star Trek fan, you hate it. Like if you're a legit Star Trek fan, most of those guys hated those Star Trek movies because of what he did to them.
The best thing about those Star Trek movies was the Beastie Boys that he put in.
Yeah, the best thing about the Star Trek movies was that they were Star Wars.
They were Star Wars.
That's right.
Oh, J.J. Abrams did direct. No, he was a producer.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, it was directed by Brad Bird, who does all the other action.
And Brad Bird is a good director.
Nice try, Dillard.
Try to slide one in.
What did you guys think of I haven't seen Solo. Rogue One.
Loved it.
That was a great movie.
Loved Rogue One.
Okay, thank you. That's actually my favorite Star Wars movie.
Wow.
But
I've heard a lot of people say that, yeah.
But it can only be my favorite Star Wars movie because I love the other Star Wars movies, because you realize how important Rogue One is to the actual story of A New Hope.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I told Mutt when we saw it together, and I remember like we were driving home or whatever, and I said the reason that this movie is so important, it's so good, is because it only makes A New Hope better.
Exactly.
It makes so much of that movie makes sense, connects all the dots, and it just like it's such a good, gritty, dirty world. Like they got it right. All right, go ahead.
Let me tell you why Rogue One was good. Okay, the reason it was good is because it had to fit an already created story. Okay. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a great movie and all the things that they did. I'm just saying that if in the world of Star Wars, if you bookend your story with certain things that are unchangeable, then it's going to work. People are going to like it. You know, like
you're right.
Make Darth Vader the baddest mamma jamma in the galaxy, like he was in Rogue One. You know, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And in the future Star Wars movies or Star Wars shows or anything that they're going to do, they need to make sure that they fit it inside of an already created storyline, an already created world. If they try to go off and make their own thing like these, Roundhead Ryan Johnson series, they're going to be stupid. It's going to be terrible.
I'm glad you said that because and Art of Reed said it in the chat. I think The Mandalorian is going to fit what you're saying.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Mandalorian, it's in this world, it's in a time period, and it has to fit within that. And I will go out on a limb and go ahead and say, oh, God.
Mutt is not. Dillard is throwing heat, and Mutt, it's silly. I saw him reach for the keyboard.
So good. So good.
All right.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. I think The Mandalorian is going to be really, really good.
I agree.
I think it's going to be great. It looks the cinematography, it looks beautiful. All the shots look great. IG-88 is in outside of the cantina in Tatooine, blasting people up.
Oh, sick.
The Mandalorian shoots the little rope gun out and pulls that dude through the doorway, and it cuts him in half. It was so sweet. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I think Boba Fett. We know what Boba Fett can do. We know that is a whole sort of like character that's been built, and now they have to fit all the Mandalorian stuff within that. It's going to be good.
And one thing I think that fans like us, want is, I think with the Star Wars movies, we're there to see, like we said, the Skywalkers. We're here to see Jedis. We have not seen any lightsaber fights, like a memorable one in any of these movies, like a memorable lightsaber fight. And that kind of pissed me off. I was watching the whole movie. I'm like, when am I going to get a lightsaber, like a good lightsaber fight? Like, Rey knows Jack. How she's able to beat Kylo each time is a freaking mystery. Yeah. Luke did nothing, which was horrible. So with the Star Wars movies, I want to see Jedis, but I think with everything that's a spin-off for the most part, I want to see some grit. I want to see the world, like the dark side of the world, like the underbelly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Rey is either. My theory is that Rey is definitely either Darth Vader's daughter, and I know that it doesn't make sense timeline, but somehow they're going to pull it, or the Emperor's daughter.
The Emperor's in the
the Emperor's daughter.
Yeah.
Look, what do you think about this?
I feel so bad for the lady who he impregnated.
This is one I've been sitting on. I think Rey could potentially be a clone of Luke or something like that.
Could be a clone.
Could be a clone. I'm thinking she's going to be somehow a Skywalker clone. That's my insane fan theory.
Okay, so you guys saw that clip of that, like that. I was about to say retarded, but I'll just say retarded. It's too late. That retarded lightsaber.
Oh, the
pocket
Swiss
knife?
Army lightsaber.
Yeah. Someone tweeted. They said, "What makes you guys think that this is Rey?" And I kind of zoomed in on the picture. It almost, and I looked at it and like I changed my mind a couple times, but it kind of looked like Natalie Portman. But I don't think that is. But maybe it's a different person. But gosh, that's the worst lightsaber.
Yeah. Like when the first time I saw it, I was like
I thought it was a goof. I thought someone did that for fun. When I first saw it,
I was a little bit at war with myself because I was like, the 90s part of me was like, all right, you know, and then I was like, that's if that hinge breaks, then you've lost all your limbs. You know what I mean? That's the other thing I thought. So I don't know. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's just the most gimmicky thing I've ever seen.
That's a toy. That's already a toy.
Yeah, they have that toy already made, and that's just waiting to happen. That's just like it was like that shock trooper in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
You know, like that swings the thing, and then Finn fights with the lightsaber, who doesn't know what he's doing with the lightsaber. That's all. I saw that like right through it immediately. So
freaking toys.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's the toy, man. That is a toy, and it's gonna happen. It's already made. They're probably making them as we speak to get ready for December. They're gonna be on the shelves.
Another theory is that Dark Rey is the. I think she's already had a Vision fight, but it might be another like Vision fight.
I'm sick of these visions, man. Just too many visions. Just fight.
Yeah.
Let them fight.
Like people are just trying to, and I actually am working on a video right now. I'm like currently scripting it. I want to make sure it like is good, but the idea is that because we have writers like Alan Moore and like Neil Gaiman, everyone wants to write like these guys. Like they want to just try to give a deep message about the humans and our insides. And we're like, not everyone needs to be Alan Moore. Not every story needs to be Alan Moore. We can tell a story and have fun.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and people, I think people just look too deep. I think people look too deep into Star Wars. And like everything they go, oh well, Star Wars is about blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, or it's just about like Jedis and good guys versus bad guys. I don't think it has to be anything about they're wearing like old Nazi uniforms. It's like or like they just didn't have like a good like costume set person. Like we're losing the fun out of it. We're losing the fun out of things, I think.
George Lucas was taking he was borrowing a lot of things from all over the place, right? And he made a really fun space opera, and it really was fun. That's why it's one of the greatest money making franchises of all time, because it's pure escapism and lots of fun.
Yeah, man, freaking toys. So with that being said, freaking toys. With that being said, expanding our universes as comic book creators, have you guys ever thought of like, are there any like side characters or expansions that Hero could go through?
We already have an expansion.
We're already there.
We're already there.
Damn.
So there's a project that we were involved with that didn't happen, but it was a collection of stories. It was Tales from Beyond the Gate.
Oh yeah. I was really sad that didn't make its goal.
I know. It was a cool, really, really cool project. Yeah, but so our story within that is it's basically a prequel to how Hero comes about. Like we have that, and we have some other stories that are sitting, they're waiting to be put out that are it might be that Obi-Wan movie that's coming out. It's that for us. So we're pretty excited about.
And Mutt gets to draw it all.
And Mutt gets to draw all of it. It's gonna be so sweet.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Now that prequel story that we got was cool, man. I really wish that we could have done that one, but it's definitely something we've gotten about halfway done already. Anyway, we got the script written out for it, and we got a lot of artwork that's already been created for it, so it's sitting there ready to go.
Well, is there plans on bringing back Tales Beyond the Gate?
I think
John.
Yeah, John. What's up with that?
What's up? Yeah, we'll see. There was some talking about it, and I don't know everything from behind the scenes, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'd love to be involved with it again. It was cool.
Yeah, but we can use our prequel story in different ways. If we use it in an anthology, that'd be cool. But if we could, if we take it just into the Hero lore, we can do that too.
It's always hard to do like these expanding things, especially when I'm looking at through an artist perspective. So I have a lot of empathy and sympathy for you, Mutt, because anytime that I create a story and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this character, I want to do a side story. I'm like, great, that means I get to draw it. And then I go, and then I have this other story I want to do. So cool, I get to draw that too. And then you realize, okay, I don't have time to draw any of this. So we're just going to keep to the main story and, rip. It's over. We got, really quick, Javi, I think it's Javi La Parra, in the chat. How you doing, Javi?
What's up, man?
Javi's actually, he's a pro colorist. He does a lot of indie. He does a lot of indie comic book work. I've colored and lettered over his stuff. But he's also really good. He's also a really good colorist himself and artist. And I know he's done some pro work. So thanks for being here, Javi.
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to color over your pencils for John Holland's Ayla sometime at the end of this year. I think I have that booked. And that's another thing about comics. They take so freaking long to make. So I have all these things. I'm like, I'm gonna make like all these projects, and by the end of the year, I'm like, flip, like that's too long, and like next year's already scheduled. Comics take way too long. We need Amazon's robots to do that for us.
Yeah, no, I love it though, dude. It's so much fun. Like one thing we keep talking about is how much fun we're having making it. It is a lot of work, but man, it is a blast to do it. It's there's nothing like the process can be sluggish, but there's nothing better than like looking at the final work. That you look at that page and you're like, worth it.
Yeah.
One experience we haven't had yet. I mean, like we've been saying from the beginning, this is our first comic and we're newbies, so we haven't gotten that printed comic in our hands yet. I haven't held it in my hand yet, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, man. I can't wait to see it, flip the pages, and look at the finished product itself. That's going to be a very important day for me.
My wife's pregnant, and she's giving birth at the end of October, and so I'm curious to
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm curious to figure out what's better, holding that new firstborn baby or my printed comic book that comes in the mail.
100% printed comic.
100% printed comic. I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. Just kidding. Mutt and I both have children, and there's nothing like holding your newborn baby. Nothing like it.
For sure.
Especially if you can hold it. It's small enough to hold in one arm. so you can hold your comics like in the
yeah,
other.
baby in one arm, new comic.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah, you got to have those first bedtime stories laid out.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. Like holding. I remember the first time I got mailed my first comic. My first comic is absolute shite. Oh my gosh! And I only printed one copy, saw it, and was like, "This no one will ever see this ever. Like no one. I will never let anyone look at this. I mean, I still have it if people want to look at it, but it was such a good.
Can you hold it up in front of the screen?
What?
Can you put it in front of the screen?
I could actually.
Let's see it. Is this the first time you ever showed it to anybody?
No. It's in it's in a binder somewhere, and I have no idea where that binder is.
Oh, okay, don't sweat it.
I'll have to find it one of these days. But it was, and because I remember I was like, okay, I have a 12-issue series, and I'm gonna draw this right now, and it's gonna be so good. And I started drawing, and I was like, gosh, this is hard. Not only am I taking so many hours on this page, but it looks terrible. Like, it looks horrific. And then I was like, okay, whatever. And I was trying to learn how to do digital art mixed with traditional, and I was trying to color it, and I didn't know how to use layers. So it was just ugly. Printed it and looked at it. I was like, I'm never going to do this again. But then that's when I started realizing, okay, comics is actually, like, why do a 12-issue story when I can maybe practice on doing like a one-shot and just keep practicing and practicing. But yeah, that was ugly. It was a pain in the butt. I actually have a comic, and once again, I'm not going to try to find it, that I did when I was in 4th grade. It's 500 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, it took 4th, 5th,
Epic.
and 6th, 4th grade to 7th grade to make it.
You have a lot of 2-page spreads?
No, I had never read a comic. I was using manga. It was like I only read my first comic when I turned 20.
Really?
Yeah, I was trying to download illegal software on a website, and one of the ads was like, "Can Batman stop Joker even though he has no face?" And I was like, and I've always loved Batman. And so I was like, oh, yeah. What? So I clicked on it. I was like, oh, these are comic books. The new 52 had just come out, so they restarted the whole line. So it was on issue 17. I was like, okay, like, I can get number 1 to 17. Easy peasy. Went to my comic book store. They were so rude to me. Like, I hope they go. I don't want them to go out of business, but if they're not making,
they smelled a fresh. They smelled a fresh.
Yeah, I walked in. I was like, "Hi, where are the Batman comics?" And they're just like, "Oh, they're over there, duh." I was like, "Okay, geez." And I bought them, and I was like, "Comics are now the greatest things in the world." And then I went to South Africa I went to South Africa for 2 years, and I bought a couple comic books there, and then I came back, and then it was just like a disease. It's like I have to keep
a disease.
I have to keep reading and buying comics.
Dude, I love that you came into comics like later, and it turned into like the biggest obsession in your entire life. It's incredible.
It was so weird because
cool.
I was super. My goal then was to be a musician. Like, I was up late every night recording music.
What were you playing? What kind of instrument did you play? Did you play
guitar, piano? I was singing.
Synthesizer?
Yeah, I was like recording my own electronic music and singing over, and I was like, I'm going to be huge, and I wasn't. And I was playing concerts, and then I read comics, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I want to be a comic book creator now, and it got me to like dig up those old comics I made when I was in 7th grade. And be like, okay, I've got a little bit of foundation of drawing, and I'm going to practice the next, 6 years and keep drawing.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't help my bank account. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't.
Comic. I think it was Jack Kirby that said, "Comics will break your heart, kid."
That's right.
That's the truth, man. It's a hard mistress.
It was such an interesting, just comics, reading them. I've always liked books. I've always loved movies, but just reading comics, there was something about reading a good story and looking at the art and being and feeling excitement or something. I can't understand it. This is getting.
Go ahead, Mutt. Mutt needs to say his thing. Say your thing.
Here we go.
About what? Comics being the preeminent.
Yes.
Yeah. Comics are the preeminent entertainment model. They're the greatest storytelling medium because movies are very limited with budget, scope, technology. There's only so much you can do with comics. We still have not seen Galactus in a movie. We saw Galactus in 1963, with Marvel Comics, 1964, I think. And, I'm just saying that movies haven't caught up yet. Animation is closer, but it still has not caught up yet. The only things comics lack are sound, but you hear the sounds in your mind,
in your
you read the words, and in your heart, and in your soul, right? So they are the greatest. And as far as what you can produce with the amount of time and money and effort and what you can and how quickly you can get it out to the masses, comics are the preeminent storytelling medium.
Amen. Oh, dude, I have a sci-fi graphic novel I made, and if it was to be made into a movie, the budget would be like, $50 to $100 million because of all the CGI, all like the tech and whatnot. And, and then I look at myself and I am never going to be an actor. And I probably will never get a 6-pack, and I'm never going to come out of a blowing up building and shoot a bunch of people and get the girl. But you know what I can do is I can write a comic and I can draw myself in it. And I'm now the hero. And I can do a bunch of bad 100%. Things I can't do in real life. And someone asked me, Tyler, are you the main character in this comic book that you sent out to all your backers? I sent out everyone an extra, and I went, I took a picture of myself. I traced over it. I made myself a little bit skinnier. I gave myself a cooler haircut. And yes, I'm shooting people. And that's awesome. And I feel great when I do
that. I love that you did that.
And I think every comic book that I do, I'm going to star in it. I'm gonna...
Yeah. Hey man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You have fun with it. Whatever it takes, you have fun with it.
And it's true.
And if it stops being fun and it starts being a job, that's probably when I'll just go back to my old 9 to 5 and forget the whole thing.
And it's so true though. Like if you wanted to make like these grand scope movies, they have to be like, can we really do that? Comics, it's like, yeah, I can draw this. Yeah. I will draw this. You want a huge mega space station? I will draw that. You want Cable to have 1 million pockets and hold the big massive guns?
Yes.
I will draw that.
No.
Yes. Now you're talking, Tyler.
Nobody wants that.
I knew that. I said that because I knew Macho is a big fan of that.
That's right. That's my
God help him.
But yeah, no, comics are. What would you say the preeminent
storytelling medium?
Dang, the comics are the preeminent medium for storytelling. That's deep.
Yeah.
We got LP in the house saying "Draw Talk." How you doing, Larry? All right, guys. Well, hey, let me put up your guys' Indiegogo one more time. Link in the chat. Honestly, guys, I think this is going to be the last time I bring on guests using OBS. I think we're just going to use StreamYard.
Easy.
It's easy. If I do a stream by myself, I'll do this. I'll do OBS. But man, that was such a pain. Like at the beginning. I also had to go in the bathroom, so that's telling.
Painful too sometimes.
So sweet. So guys, as we end the show, I hope that we all not only had fun. Thank you everyone who's in the chat. We got the Wonk in the house. We got the Huanator. How you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
As we end the show, just know, we got Macho Dan and Muttman here. They are the creators of Hero. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description. The reason why I love these two so much is ultimately not only are they awesome comic book creators, they're here to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah,
there's too much
100%.
There's too much hate and drama, and
tell me about it, man.
People aren't having fun.
Yeah, that's what's the problem right now. Everybody just needs to chill and have some fun, man. Just relax.
Whatever. Why does storytelling have to be a message? Like when I was a kid. I still am a kid, but in my imagination, it was just like, man, imagine if I could fly and get to the top of that building and there was a dinosaur and I fought it. And like that was fun stuff, and you can put that into a story, the imaginations of things that you can't do, that aren't possible, and yet people are telling these awful stories of like, it's like, where's the fun?
They put too much like everyday, like, in just downer stuff.
We're not here for it every day. I live every day. It sucks.
I'm not here for that. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Grocery shopping. I have to go to the DMV. I don't want to deal with that crap in my comic books. I want it to be fun. Is that what we're looking for? And that's what we want to produce, and that's what we hope that we're going to be giving you guys. It's just straight up, like, unadulterated fun. Good stuff.
Yeah, I tell Macho, like, reading a Marvel comic these days is like watching an HR video. About like diversity.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just is not fun. They're missing it. You know what I mean? Like, you can do the things they want to do, but do it in a way that's more fun. They're totally missing it.
They're missing the bombastic side of comics.
Yeah.
Like, where's these fun, like, where you turn the page, you're like, oh my gosh, like, how did that happen? Instead of you turn the page and they're still talking, and they're at a school and they're walking on the sidewalk and they're still talking, and you're like, great. I do that.
Everything's so heavy too. Like, so they found a way to make the things that happen to the world so personal to the people that are reading and are easily offended. They make these like heavy storylines. It's not like Galactus is coming down and going to eat the world, and that's certainly a bad thing. But it's bigger than you can wrap your mind around, right? And so you need heroes that are bigger than you can wrap your mind around to save you. And that's what's fun about those stories. It's these stories that are like focused on the political side, that are so heavy that you relate to on your everyday, that makes it not fun. And I don't want to read about it because I get it in the news. Like, I can just turn the TV on and listen to the same stuff. I'd rather have those crazy, like you said, these bombastic, crazy storylines. I want Galactus coming down and gonna eat the Earth, and I want these crazy superheroes that I can't comprehend save the day. That's what we need. We need more of that.
The medicine for the in the movies, in the cinematic universe, probably in comics too, the medicine that would cure everything is to go back and do the Fantastic Four in the way that they were intended to be done, the way that they were started, right? Like, just put the Fantastic Four back in the comics and in the movies in a way that is pure to them, right? Make it great, make it fun, make it about family. If you do that, that's the medicine, man. That cures everything. Kids love that. Adults love that.
That's the relatable stuff that we want. We want the good relatable stuff. I don't want to be like, there's turmoil in the world in this. There's political turmoil in my comic. Yes, there's political turmoil here too. But like, I think
I want to see turmoil. I want to see turmoil and drama in the negative zone, man.
Yeah.
I want to see the aliens trying to bust through the negative zone barrier, and Reed Richards having to figure out a way to get them back into the negative zone. That's what I want.
And they come up with like legit solutions. You want to see them, there's a problem and everything's going to be okay. And I know people are like, well, we're tired of that same story. We go, but it's a good story. That there's a problem, and at the end of the day, the good guys win. I mean, I look at Peter J. Tomasi is one of my favorite DC comic book writers, and he does not get enough appreciation. He doesn't get enough appreciation at DC. His partner Patrick Gleason doesn't get enough appreciation at DC. So he's like,
man, Patrick Gleason.
I know, and he moved to Marvel. So clearly, DC, you goofed because you let one of your best artists go. But their Superman run was about family, and it was about just saving the world. And then they gave it to Brian Michael Bendis, and he killed off the first thing he did was kill off the family.
Yep.
Brian Michael Bendis he's a plague. He's a plague on comics.
In his book, like Words on Art or something, it's like, your words aren't supposed to be on art. There's too many words on the art.
The greatest thing he ever did was give the inspiration to make the movie Into the Spider-Verse. That's basically the greatest thing
he's had a couple good comics. Like,
but everything from his creative box comes from a place where you're trying to deconstruct everything. And it's just that's not fun. Who cares?
I was gonna say,
like, I don't want to see Spider-Man broken down to to where his soul is laid bare and his marriage is broken to pieces. I don't like that.
I was gonna say my favorite Brian Michael Bendis book is there, and it's Daredevil, but it's about the death of Daredevil and the breakdown and like the breakdown, the deconstruction of the character. Who really was Daredevil? Like, was he really the man that we knew him as? And now that you said that, I'm like, you're kind of right. Every story was like that. Like, are these superheroes really super? Are they really good? The good guys?
Yeah.
Well, I think Daredevil to a point that probably works with him, but Peter Parker, family man, like it's just that's a different. I don't know. Maybe I'm too putting it too much into my own feelings, but that's you don't mess with Peter Parker like that. Come on.
And and then I just hate that they're getting rid of some characters that get it. You don't give them families, but some characters they're family people. Peter Parker, family man.
Yeah, sure. Family.
Superman, family man. The Fantastic Four, literally a family.
Literally a family. Yeah.
There's only one way to really take the story of Peter Parker and add higher stakes, right? And that's to make him a dad. Right.
He did. He was a dad. He had a run. Right? I bought it for my daughter. It's Annie Parker, I think it's her name.
But it was the alternate future Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl.
I guess it's Spider. No, I don't think so. I have to look it up.
I thought Mary Jane was the mom because she was
Mary Jane's the mom. Yep.
But I mean, it was short lived. But yeah, it's true. Raise the stakes. Have him have a kid.
Short.
And the Amazing Spider-Man, like in the main book,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think it was Renew Your Vows or something. Maybe is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It wasn't good. I bought it for my daughter.
Yeah.
She was like, there's a girl like my age who is Peter Parker's daughter, and it's like a Spider-Man adventure, and it was appropriate for, so I bought it. But it wasn't what I would say is a good comic.
Shame.
It was fine. Fine for her. It was fine.
Well, guys, thanks those who are watching. We three creators here. Our goal is to make good comics.
That's right.
We're gonna make good and fun comics, and I guess one last question. We were supposed to end this 15 minutes ago, but I just got one last question for you guys. And Battle Dime in the house says, yes, it's Renew Your Vows. Zach's our channel says he's got to go. Peace out, dude.
Peace.
Larry says, why do I always catch this at the end? I don't know, dude. It's always Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm pretty set on the schedule. The final question is, what we're looking into the future. Once Hero is done and fulfilled by the end of this year, and you guys will probably be my first Indiegogo book I get in my hand, because I actually looked through it and I was I saw 10 different Indiegogos I've backed, and I'm like, gosh dang it, where are these?
Oh man,
I was getting a little angry.
We're pretty serious about our end date.
So what's after you guys are done with Hero and fulfilling it this year? What's next year's goal? Is it Hero issue 2, or what's the plan? If you guys even thought that far, I know I'm throwing you guys just
No, we've let's see, I don't know how much I should say. So we have seriously thought about this a lot. We have already got volume 2 worked. It's not ready to go right away, but we have it worked out. And I think we're gonna kind of keep to a schedule. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mutt. The last thing that we had kind of talked about was once we've gotten this fulfilled, people have been able to read it and they're enjoying it, then we'll be ready to launch Volume 2 if we're ready for that, and kind of around the same time we launch Volume 1. What are your thoughts, Mutt? Does that kind of get it?
Yeah, if I survive this first issue, then we'll continue that story into Volume 2 and Volume 3. And Volume 2 is going to be we're going to raise the stakes.
Yep.
And we're going to show the sort of the world scene. We're going a little bit more local in the first one. They're on their first mission, and they have a very specific goal that they have to accomplish. And issue 2, we're going to spread the story out a little bit, which is going to be hard because I'm going to have to draw big battle scenes, which is going to be crazy. But we're gonna go out and we're gonna show World War III and what's happening in it.
Dang.
Yeah, and we're going to show our big bad, right? We're going to open up the storyline to the big bad, and then we're going to go into. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to give away too much because we have really talked about some good ideas, and I love thinking he's got some really crazy, fun, super fun ideas for Volume 3. But for Volume 3, we're going to do a twist, and we're going to end up the series in a really interesting way.
That's awesome. And you guys are concluding on Volume 3.
Yeah, Volume 3 is
I
the
love
plan
that.
to conclude. Yeah,
it doesn't need to, like, it ends. We don't need any more.
Yeah.
And what you guys could do at the end is you could then do another campaign that combines all three.
You got it.
Yeah.
Easy
And
peasy.
it could easily we could continue it, but it's important to us to have closure to the story and for it to be a good arc. It needs to be a good arc that you could sit down and you could read start to finish and enjoy. And so that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do.
And I like that you guys do that because on last week's show, someone was like, "Do you have plans to do more than Volume 3 of Demons?" And to be fair, like Volume 3 of Demons, that's 14 issues of a story. It's like, I could do more. We could do more stories, but at the end of the day, the arc of the character is over. What I wanted out of the main character from Volume 1. He's now he'll now be a completely different person by the end of Volume 3, and there's no need to continue that. He changed, his arc is over, and the story's done.
The interesting thing about Hero is that it's kind of like it's sort of like Doctor Who.
I like that.
There's a constant ability to revamp
and
renew the character with new stories and different things. So we want to leave the door open for any like ongoing possibilities, right? Because of the nature of the type of story that it is. Like we have a setting right now where we're dealing with World War III, so it's a big story. But once that Volume 3 closes, we have to figure out what we're going to do. So if the fan reaction is there and people seem to want it, then we'll figure out a way to make more. But I think Volume 3 will probably wrap it up for us creatively.
And then you have a new story, and then you have like new ideas, new characters you want to create, new worlds.
Yep.
We have a problem.
We have a book full.
That's not good. That's not good to do that. I have a book in my bookshelf. Like every page is filled with a new idea, and I just look at that and go, "It's never gonna happen." There's not enough time in the day to draw all these amazing ideas, and it sucks.
We have to be smart about what we're choosing as a creative team. And Hero was the one that it's getting it all going, and we hope that all three volumes are going to be popular and people are going to love them. And then it'll be time to creatively do something different, I think.
Speaking of that, you got to talk about the fan.
Let's end with the fan art.
Okay, cool. So I'll say that real quickly. Everybody, if you didn't see last night, so on Mutt's channel, Hero Blood of Patriots, we have a fan art challenge, and we have gotten literally tons and tons of submissions. We whittled it down to 12 finalists. Last night we went through all of those, and then we picked the top 4. So if you want to see the top 4, you can find me on Twitter. My handle is Macho Dano, Dano. And so you can find me there. I had a tweet last night that is going to give you a chance to vote on the top 4 that we had. And we would love to get as many votes as possible. We had 4 incredible artists, beautiful pieces, every single one of them that they very graciously drew for us for this fan art challenge. And we want to crown a winner. Whoever wins is going to get some cool stuff. We're going to send them a signed issue of the book. We're also going to send them some swag, so stickers or patches or something like that.
Which is good fan art. Like it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was, for me at least, and they were all good. Like I loved.
Yeah, which one's your favorite? You give us your rundown.
I loved Pete Koth's because I love the
Yep.
storytelling of that with the plane ride. I love art that's not just a pinup, but there's a story.
Yeah.
I loved Jay Robinson's just because it was so 90s, just with the veins and
Yeah.
killing
Yeah,
it. I loved Bjorn's. I don't know.
Bjorn,
Bjorn's.
yeah.
I just
Bjorn.
love it. It's so digital and it's so what is it? Like this could be really good concept art for a movie. Like they go like this is
Yeah.
what we do, but I had to pick John Dillard's.
Okay, cool.
You did. You picked
I
John
know. I
Dillard's.
loved the composition of it. I didn't even see the
Yep.
colors, but I liked the composition of it. It was that or Bjorn's. I stared at the two for a while.
Yeah, they're both beautiful. So another cool thing that we're going to do is that all four of these we're going to put out as a small print. Dilly says, "Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?" Don't tell him. No,
Don't
but
say.
we're going to put all four of these out as small prints that we're going to and just randomly grab one and include one
That's
with
awesome.
every physical, just for like a fun thing we're going to do. That was Mutt's idea. I think it's a great
That's
idea.
that give people it excites them. They open their package. They go, oh, like I got something.
Yeah,
I got a little
extra.
extra that they're really taking care of me.
Yeah.
So I like that.
So that's something we're gonna do. They're not gonna be like super or anything, but they're gonna be a cool little extra that
For
we're
sure.
able to throw in there, and it'll be a little bit of advertising for the artists that really took their time to do that for us. That's a big deal.
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
Dillard Draw says, okay, I'm back. What did I miss? I was just complimenting you
Yes.
literally actually for like 5 minutes. Dillard, you might have to go click on and rewatch that. I'm not
he's gonna,
repeating that.
He's gonna rewind that 2 or 3 times,
And he's going to screen record it.
voice. So that was our hero fan art. If you guys are interested in watching it, you can also go to Mutt's channel. It's Muttman75 on YouTube, and we had a fun stream last night. So check them out. You can watch all 12 if you're interested.
That's sick.
Thanks very much, Tyler. Appreciate the time there.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for being on the show. Guys, go follow. I put the links on the Twitter to go follow them. Go also check out the links in the description. You can check out Hero, Blood of the Patriots. Join our Discord. Buy more art books. John, I am sending your book that you bought off my online store this week, as well as some other art for other people that I owe art to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cue the music, subscribe, and we will see you with a new video on Wednesday. It's called The Death of Independent Comics. Peace.
Ooh.
Peace.
Drone Talk.